Live.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us from down under Australia, from the UK, and from South Africa. My name is Ofir. I'm the new leader of Israel Highway 2017. With me joining us is Amir, the outgoing director of the program.
Hi, everyone. My name is Amir. I worked at Israel Experience for almost 6 years now. I was the founder and director of Israel Highway until Ofir came along. And we'll take the time now to answer a few questions. Ofir?
Yeah, first of all, before that, I would like to say that after working for the last 3 years for Israel Experience and on the first gap year of Israel Highway, I'm more than thrilled to be taking the director position. I'm sure we're going to have an amazing year. We're going to take some questions now. We got a few questions on email from you guys and on the Facebook page. And just to notice that if you want to add a few questions, you can write it down on a post on our Facebook page, and we'll answer them shortly. Can we start?
Yeah.
All right. So our first question from Melbourne. Someone is asking, I'm worried that this is the only second year the program is running. How can we be sure that it's going to be great as it described? And what other program does Israel Experience run? So yeah, it is a fairly new program. It's been running now. It's going to run for the second year. But Israel Experience has decades of experience running programs and running different programs for different crowds from different countries as well. This program has been developed for 2 years by a group of 30 people, from tour guides, from educator, from leader, from informal and formal education. Also, our CEO, Amos Hermon, was involved in developing the program. And what we did is we took all of that knowledge, everything we know about gap years and about your need in Israel, and compiled it into one program. All the things we think are the best and all the things we recognize as really successful, compiled into one program, one unique and really special program. And this is Israel Highway. Now, Israel Experience has been running, as I said, for a few decades, a lot of different programs around Israel, from different crowds all over the world, either from Birthright or from post-college program for young people, for adults. It has a lot of experience, and it's been working with the best educator, the best security and security staff, and it has a lot of experience in that field. And that program by Israel Experience is backed by the company and is getting all the information and all the experience it has. Amir, you want to go on?
Yeah, we have a question here from Sydney. What does an average day look like, and what we'll be doing all day, like Tel Aviv? Well, it's quite complicated because we try to keep our days as unique as we can, and each day is different from another. As you probably know, the program is divided into 3 main legs. The first leg is here in Jerusalem, in Kiryat Moriah, where participants go through mini machon, like the Shnadis, and they are studying Hebrew at Ulpan, touring Jerusalem. They're having guest speakers from all different topics, from about the conflict, the Israeli-Arab conflict, about Judaism, about Zionism. So it's very different. In Tel Aviv, for instance, you all live in shared apartments. And you wake up in the morning and you actually you're going to work, but you're going to volunteer with amazing organizations, such as Elifelet, which is kindergarten for kids, refugees from Africa, soup kitchens, food packing for people in need and stuff like that. And in the afternoon, there are tours of Tel Aviv, and also you need to take care of your own house, which means you need to cook and clean. I'm sure your parents will be thrilled about it. The day between those legs, we have also hikes, tours of Jerusalem, of the north, of the south. We also have fun things. We have activities. So their days are pretty much not. One day doesn't look like another. It's if you didn't like one day, then tomorrow might be a whole different day and better. Let's take another question from Melbourne this time. Are 50 people too small for a group? And will I see friends from on other programs a lot? Well, we believe on our experience this year, we had 36 participants, 37 participants. And if you ask each and every one of them, they'll say it was the perfect number. The plus side of such a small group is that you really get to bond with everyone. There is an intimacy that created in such a small group that allows people to triumph, if you want. So no, 50 is not too small. It's the perfect number. You travel together, you do all the activities together. It's not too big. And about other programs, yes, you'll see them also because the ZFA, the Zionist Federation of Australia, is running also programs that are joined together, like the Rhapsody that we did this year. You can see on our cover photo of our Facebook page. And also, you live in Kiryat Moria, which is where Machon takes place. So you'll be with them at all times.
Yeah, take the next question. But before that, adding on that, I think that a smaller group gives the opportunity to create a family vibe. And that's something that's pretty unique about our program. I think that creating the family vibe and creating a really close and tight group is something that creates a better program and creates a better atmosphere for everyone, because everyone is part of that smaller group, as no one is kind of neglected and on the side. I think 50 is a good number, and it creates a unique atmosphere. Well, let's take another question. One from Melbourne. What are the volunteering options? Is there an organization I already know in Tel Aviv? Can I volunteer there? If I don't want to volunteer, can I do something else instead? So first of all, off the bat, I'll say that volunteering is part of our program. It's a really important part because it has a strong message. And it keeps us involved in our community, in our expanded community in Israel. So we see volunteering as compulsory, of course, and it's part of the program. Now, about the volunteering option, I'll expand a bit about what Amir said about Tel Aviv. So there are different options. There are soup kitchens, there are kindergartens, working with refugees, working with people with disabilities, working in schools and teaching English. There's a lot of different options. But those options are pretty open, and we can add anything that you guys think is relevant for you, anything you think you want to do, like working with animals, working on a let's say outdoor garden. Everything you guys feel it's relevant for you, then we're more than happy to add it. You'll just have to send us the details of the place or of the people you want to work with, and we'll work really hard on adding that and having that as a part of our volunteering options. Take another question. Yeah, let's take one from Sydney now. How much learning is there actually, and what type do I have? And do I have to do everything on the program? Now, as I said about volunteering, we see every part of the program is important. It's not just important for you to participate on the spot. It is important for the long run, for the message it gives you, and for the experience you get out of this program. So we see every part of the program as compulsory, but of course, we will work with you on harder parts, and we'll see how we can change or make it better. Some people might not like everything, so it's pretty flexible, and we're pretty happy to talk with you and to get you guys involved into the program and into changing and evolving the program as well. I think it's a really important part. Learning as any program that has a non-formal educated kind of vibe. Learning is learning in a class, but also learning outdoors, learning with games, learning with videos of different speakers that come and engage you with the material you're learning through touring around places like Jerusalem, like Tel Aviv. Most of our learning on Tel Aviv will be touring around Tel Aviv and actually touching the places and the cultural side of it. Jerusalem as well, the religious side, the historical side, will be touching on that physically and going to places, not just sitting in a class and hearing about different stuff. So learning is a pretty big array and a pretty big spectrum of how we learn and how we engage with it. And that's really important to understand. Next question, Amir.
Yeah, we have a question from Perth. Hi, Perthies. Question is, what is the level of Judaism provided and enforced on the program? That's a really, really good question. First of all, we need you. Israel Highway is a pluralistic program, which means that we keep Shabbat in public. Our Shabbat, we don't drive on Shabbat, we don't write on Shabbat or watch videos. We keep the public places Shabbat friendly, which means if you want to be on your phone, that's fine. That's fine by us, but do it in your own room and make sure it doesn't bother your roommates. But on public places like the dining hall, the cheder ochel, and when we go down to the lobby or activity rooms, we keep Shabbat. All the food that is provided on the program is kosher. In terms of Judaism programs, we really tend to talk about culture Judaism. We also try to go to different shuls, like Reform shuls, conservatives, but also Orthodox. We have guest speakers who will come and talk with you about different aspects of Judaism. Also, Judaism in Israel. Does it always goes side by side, or there is tension between democratic state and a Jewish state? We take the subject of Judaism and not necessarily treat it as something as the religious that follows. It's also that we do Kabbalat Shabbat, Havdalah. If you want to dav, you can dav, but we look at the subject Judaism and we investigate it deeply.
Adding on that, I'll just mention that we don't have a religious ideology. So we don't affiliate. The program doesn't affiliate itself with some kind of a religious sect. I think it works for the benefit of our participants, because we get to taste different religious aspects and taste different religious sects. As Amir said, going to different shuls and expanding the options the participants have for going to different places. Another thing is the festival. The festivals are pretty important. The holidays. We put an emphasis last year and more on this year on celebrating the holidays and dealing with the holidays and celebrating Passover with a big Seder, celebrating Purim with a big happy activity. And our second weekend on the program is going to be Tu B'Shvat, which is a pretty happy and colorful and naturey holiday. So we're gonna touch on that as well. It's really important for us to engage our Judaism, to taste everything we can, and to try also and cooperate in creating our Shabbat together as a group, and not just as something that is ideology of the program. So the participants come on a program and they create a Shabbat together with their madrichim and create whatever they want and whatever they feel their Shabbat should be.
Before we continue to other questions, I just want to say that don't forget, if you have any question, please write it as a comment on our Facebook page, and you'll get your answer straight away. Also, I wanna emphasize something that is unique about our program, about Israel Highway. In Israel Highway, there are two types of weekends, of Shabbatot. There is a group weekend and there is an open weekend. A group weekend is where all the group is staying together in one place. There are activities run by the madrichim. We do Kabbalat Shabbat. Sometimes, if we're in a big city, we'll go to shul. There is Oneg Shabbat, which is a fun activity on Friday night. 3 meals provided, accommodation provided, and from Sunday, the program continues to its next stage. But the other type of Shabbat is an open Shabbat. An open Shabbat is a Shabbat where you, the participants, get to choose what's right for you. If you want to stay in the accommodation, you can do it. It's yours. There will be 3 meals provided per day, but there is no activities. Also, our apartments in Tel Aviv, which are located in central Tel Aviv, will be available for you during Chodesh Pesach. During Pesach, from the first Pesach Seder night till the second Pesach, 7 days later, the apartments will be yours. There will be no programming and no food, no meals provided, but they will be yours, and so they'll be located in central Tel Aviv. It's important to emphasize that way the participant can save up to $4,000 US, which is a massive amount. and a massive bonus for you guys. Let's talk about medical insurance for a second. Our medical insurance is the most comprehensive medical insurance in the market today. We work with the large insurance company in Israel called Harel. Basically, if you need to see a doctor, if you need any medication, it's covered. But we do recommend booking, like ordering an insurance, a private insurance, in addition to our insurance, because their insurance is not a travel insurance in terms of it doesn't cover your luggage, or if you have any valuables like laptops, iPhones, cameras, or something like that, it doesn't cover it. It's only medical. And also, it doesn't cover pre-existing conditions. So if you have a pre-existing condition and you wanna make sure, contact us before, and we'll tell you if you should or shouldn't have another insurance. But we always recommend having another one.
So adding on that as well, there's always so Harel Insurance works with a lot of different clinics around Israel, a lot of different doctors. There's always a clinic nearby, a 24/7 one, and there's always doctors available in any field. There's pharmacy available. All the medication that a doctor prescribed to you, if you went through Harel and you went on the program, all the medication is covered as well. And it's important to stress that at every situation, a madrich will be available for you to have or to come with you to the doctor if needed and if you want it. There's always that option. It's a pretty good and high standard option, and it's the best. Also adding on the open Shabbats or the Chofish, the holiday on Passover, there's always a madrich available. So there's always someone staying around the apartments in Tel Aviv, let's say, or in open Shabbat, staying where the group was before the Shabbat. There's always someone available for the people who decided to stay. Always a madrich for any situation, for medical situation, for just having around. It's really important to stress that. We'll move on. Talk a bit about the heritage trip. So the heritage trip happens at the end of our Jerusalem part. So at the end of a month and a half, also already into the program. Heritage trip is a 9 days trip, 2 days to Berlin, and 7 days to Poland, to different cities in Poland, different places. It's an amazing experience. I went on it this year as a madrich with the group, and it's important to say that it's an added part of the program. So it's not part of the program payment. It's an extra part. And people who wanna sign up to be participant on that can sign up at the end of signing up to the program process. There's a part of the heritage trip. Heritage trip takes you for 2 days in Berlin to deal with the roots of the Nazi ideology and to understand how it grew to be such a huge and horrible machine. And after that, the group will be moving to Poland, touring through different cities, different historical Jewish communities, and touring labor and extermination camps. I believe that the heritage trip is it's an amazing part, and it's an amazing opportunity to experience something like that with your madrichim, with a professional heritage trip tour guide, and it's a wonderful option to understand your history and your family's history, and it's also pretty educational and gives you a lot of information. So it's really important.
We have a question from Sydney. Is there something special we need to pack? Well, that's a really good question because you arrived to Israel on 1st of February, where it's winter, and hopefully in Jerusalem it will be snowing again. Jerusalem is beautiful in snow. And you end the program on June 30th, so it's the peak of summer. So basically, yes, you need to pack also winter clothing and summer clothing. In terms of shoes, I know you Australian thongs, you love them, gendals for Kiwis or just flip-flops for normal people. But I know you love them, but you're only going to need them while you're in the hostel. We highly recommend that you bring hiking shoes and also shoes to walk in the water, sandals. You can buy shoresh here in Israel. You can ask all our participants from this year how they love shoresh. It's important to say that tours are not canceled. Like if we're going out touring in Jerusalem or touring in Tel Aviv, they're not canceled because of the rain or other weather conditions. Obviously, if there is a tornado outside, we won't go. But if it's just showers, then yes, bring an umbrella, bring a raincoat, because we're not canceling any tours because of the weather. Also important for boys, bring a kippah. For girls, bring something for the kotel or where we go to shul, like a skirt. It's important that you'll bring a big suitcase with all the stuff you need, and also a day pack for daily use with water, a hat, and stuff that you need for the whole day while touring or studying or something like that. Also medication, which also comes as part of the question about a medical insurance. All the medications that you get prescribed by doctors here in Israel are covered by the insurance. But also think about things that you take regularly and think that you are used to. Yes, Israel has Panadol here, but if you're used to a certain type of Panadol and not Advil or Acamol in Israel, you should bring it with you. Also contact lenses and stuff that you used to take regularly, bring with you, because the stuff that you can get here in Israel are maybe different than what you're used to in Australia or in your country of origin, which can be a bit problematic.
It's important to add that it's really important just to bring stuff that you're comfortable in, stuff that you'll be happy to wear, and stuff that you just feel comfortable and just like you feel like in nature with, because you are spending a long period in Israel. It's important to bring everything you think you'll need, but you can also always contact us before an email on Facebook, or on my phone number as well. You can contact our Aussie provider, Harry and Jake, and ask them questions. We're always happy to help, and even if you think it's like a stupid or just like an obvious question, just ask us, and we'll be happy to help. We have a lot of experience with groups, and I think we can help you a lot with what to bring and how much money you think you'll need for spending. All of those are really important, and if you want to ask us, go ahead, and it's always, you'll always get an answer.
On top of the money issue, we have a question: how much extra spending money do I need? Well, that's up to you, obviously. We can say that the program provides everything you need, except toothpaste or stuff like that. But if you consider yourself a big spender and you like go shopping, then yeah, you need the money. But we reckon that around the $1,500 to $2,000 for the whole 5 months is more than enough, because everything is provided. Food is provided. With every meal comes a bottle of water or soft drinks. There's not much that you need to buy. Obviously, with the open weekends, you can also go. You can also stay at the accommodation. There's not much money to be spent on traveling from one place to another, because the program takes care of it in most cases, like 99% of the cases. We have another question: who picks the room? Well, it really depends on the group itself. At the beginning, the madrichim are selecting and choosing the rooms, because we want to create a good atmosphere. We want to make sure that Melbourne people are mixed with Sydney and Perth, and hopefully we'll get from the UK or Canada like we had this year, South Africa as well. So the madrichim will pick it first, and if we see that the group itself is a welcoming group and everyone is not excluded or anything like that, we'll let you pick the rooms yourself or ask to be with someone in a room. Phil?
Yeah, I'll take another question. We have another question from Perth. Are the madrichim with us 24/7? So it's really important to say madrichim are available for you 24/7. The way you during the day, during every program, during every part of the program, they'll be there. Even as I said, on open weekends and on our chofesh, madrich will be there always, and they're always available. Of course, when you go out at night or when you do your free time, the madrichim will be available on your on the phone, or will be available shortly. But it's important to say that they're always there, they're always available, and they can always help you with everything you need, even if it's non-program related, like planning a trip after the program or helping with an extended program after. It's really important to stress that they always be there, and they'll always be available for you, either in person or on phone if they're away for the weekend. Yeah, so they'll always be there. We have another question.
Just before the next question, sorry, I wanna add about our madrichim, our leaders. All the madrichim at Israel Experience are chosen carefully by Israel Experience and by Ofir. He'll be interviewing the madrichim for next year personally. Our madrichim, they're all finished their military service or national service. They all have background on hadracha, on leadership. If it's from youth movements here in Israel or youth movements abroad. Some of them also led some camps in the States. And before the program starts, we bring them here to our office, to our HQ for a seminar where we explain everything there is. We make sure that everything is intact, and basically they are highly qualified for this type of hadracha.
Also adding on that, on the first day of the program, it's going to be the first day you meet the madrichim, but it's not going to be the first day you become aware of them. Madrichim are chosen at this time of the year. We're starting to choose madrichim now and interview them now, so pretty early before the program. We're really pushing to have madrichim already, and we'll have a few sessions that you'll get to know the madrichim before the program will actually start. You get to maybe ask them questions. You get to learn about them, about their private life. So it's really important to say, once you arrive into Israel, you'll know already who your madrichim are, what's their names, what's their hobbies. You'll know a lot about them. Taking another question from Sydney, talking about the highway part of the program. So the highway part is the third leg of the program, and it's the most unique part. It's a part that let you choose your highway. We have 3 different options. We have a Wingate training and sport option. We have a young ambassadors option, and we have our kibbutz lifestyle option. And those 3 options are the option for everyone to choose from. Now the question is from Sydney is, if I choose a highway and I don't like it, can I swap? So our aim is for you to be happy, to choose your own highway. We don't want anyone who's not unhappy to be on a highway. It involves, of course, a logistical change. It involves us reorganizing the highways group in a new way if someone wants to swap in the middle. But it is possible. It's always possible. If someone is unhappy, he or she won't stay on a place they're unhappy in. It's important to say that at the beginning of the program, you have a chance to talk with your madrichim to understand the highway more deeply, and then to choose. So you have that option to see what you want, and of course to change in a situation where you're really unhappy. Important to add that we'll do our best, but we'll also do our best to create maybe just a different a different atmosphere, to create something you'll be as happy with as possible.
I wanna speak about a very important topic, which is safety and security. One of our main goals, if not the most important thing for us, is your security and your safety. The security situation in Israel can be tricky sometimes, and this year's group saw it, felt it that the situation wasn't that good. It's important to know that we've never encountered any attack or anything like that, and all the routes and itineraries that we're doing are approved by the police, by the Israel Defense Forces, by the army. We also have a special situation room that it belongs to the Israeli Ministry of Education, which updates us live if there is an area we shouldn't go, or if there is a route that we shouldn't take. We keep posting live updates to parents on emails if there was an attack, even if the group wasn't there. Our main goal is your safety, and we won't jeopardize that for nothing. That's coming before education, before fun. Your safety. We also, all of our madrichim are qualified first aiders, and also in some of the tours we have a security guard with us, he's also a medic. All because of our concern for safety and regulations. And it's important to understand that some of the regulations, like if we spoke about thongs before, it's also because of safety. Obviously, we won't go hiking in the desert with thongs. It makes sense for me anyway. The other topic that I wanna speak about is drugs and alcohol. We have a very strict zero tolerance policy against any use of drugs and misuse of alcohol. Regarding drugs, any participant who is being suspected or caught possessing, using, even dealing will be immediately sent home, kicked out of the program. Drugs in Israel are illegal as much as they're illegal in Australia and other countries. And also alcohol, misuse of alcohol will lead for the same result. If you drink, you're allowed to drink alcohol if you're above 18. Obviously, if you're underage, you're not allowed. But if you drink alcohol to the point where you are a danger to yourself, or you're a danger to your environment, or you damage property, then that is misuse of alcohol, and that will bring you back home. Unfortunately, this year we had to face that with one of our participants. It's something that there are no compromises. There also, because of what I've said before about safety and security, but it's also something that we're really strict on, and there are no compromises or second chances. So drink if you're allowed to, have fun, but be responsible, and obviously no drugs whatsoever.
It's important to stress that, as Amir said, drugs are not legal in alcohol. They are illegal in Israel. Sorry, and it's important to say that if you are caught consuming drugs, then you're dealt with by the Israeli authorities in a way. So you don't want to go there. You don't want to even try that, because you're in a foreign country, and that's just not a happy situation to be in. So as Amir said, it's important to stress that alcohol, if you're 18, then you're free to use alcohol in your free time in a reasonable way, and in a way that will respect the program and respect your friends, and to be really to think about it hard before you misuse it.
If you don't have any questions, do we have more questions, or we'll move on?
No, we can move on.
All right. So if you don't have any questions, I just want to remind you about two events that are happening during August. Our Mr. Avi Steinberg, our director of the English-speaking countries division, is coming to Australia. He'll be part of the Educator Conference by the by the Zionist Federation of Australia, but he'll also held two information evenings, one in Sydney, one in Melbourne, and also you can get all the details from Jake and Harry. Sorry, Harry in Sydney. Also, we want to remind you that we have a special offer for you for the 10 first people to sign up to the program and pay their deposit. Will get 200 Australian dollars voucher to Kathmandu for you to buy things for the trip.
Kathmandu puffy jackets are really helpful in the Israeli winter, so we recommend having that.
And if we already touched the registration, registration is now booming. I mean, there is a lot of interest, and there are a lot of people who are considering. It's important to say that spots are limited for this year because we want to keep it intimate, and we want to keep it small as possible. So hurry up and secure your spot. Your spot is not secured until you pay the deposit. Once you pay the deposit, your spot is secured. So contact Jake in Melbourne. We'll have their details up on Facebook, and they're already on our website. And contact Harry in Sydney.
Contact us for any other questions you have. We'll add just the dates of those information nights. So the information night in Sydney will be held on August 18th and at 7 o'clock, and the information night in Melbourne will be held at August 23rd at 7 o'clock as well. Places will be published on our website, on our Facebook page, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
We're thrilled to start this year and this amazing gap year. We invite you to come to Israel with us. Come to Israel Highway. Do it your way. And hope to see you in Israel. Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye.